Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Hisui Cup, and let's see what team we're going to be running today. We're going to start off with the Drifblim paired with the Empoleon and a Cresselia in the back. Kind of a core breaker here. This Magnezone doing some good amount of fast move pressure. We can't really switch out because we don't really have a counter to this thing, so we decided to do the next best thing, stay in and get a shield from our opponent, forcing them to switch out. They do switch out into the Gastrodon here, and we do have a really good counter to this Gastrodon with our Cresselia, so we're not going to show this first one. In fact, we're going to try to overfarm because we do probably need some energy to throw back at a potential Magnezone switch back in, so they decided to let it go. No way they were going to beat the Cresselia, and there it is. The Magnezone is back. We're going to go for this Moonblast here. Moonblast resisted, but because of Magnezone's squishiness, it doesn't take damage that well. Okay, so we are in the best possible situation now. We have two shields with the Empoleon versus the Drifblim here. The Drifblim did invest a shield, and we're just going to have to use shield. This is most likely a bait. Ends up being the Icy Wind. Makes sense, but we're going to apply pressure. We're going to go for this next Hydro Cannon here. I think it's CAP, so we do get them to use all of their energy right there, and we're just looking for a farm down, and we do get the farm down, so GG's to our opponent right there, able to win that terrible lead with our Empoleon in the back. So, pretty decent finish, and let's see what we see in the next one. Okay, we have the Frostlass here. Frostlass is pretty good against the Drifblim and our Cresselia, so we're just going to play this one out. They do go for the Avalanche right here. Once again, we're going to go for a shield, so we go for the Icy Wind bait. They do invest a shield, so we get a debuff right here. We're trying to go for a Shadow Ball, but they are able to reach the next Avalanche before we get to the Shadow Ball. So we decided to let it go. We go into our Empoleon, they go into their Empoleon, and then we switch out into our Cresselia to have a little bit better matchup. So looks like this Hydro Cannon goes through. We tank it. We throw a Grass Knot right here. Good neutral damage. Does roughly like 30%. We're going to be able to get to another Grass Knot here. This Grass Knot will take it into the red. So this is as good as it's going to get. We're going to allow this Drill Pack to go through. We're going to get one fast move off of this Empoleon. And unfortunately, they have the Toxicroak in the back. So I'm unable to win this back line, especially even shields. Not much I could have done right there. Just bad alignment. Especially in the lead right there. We switch out into any of our backline, and then they have a counter to it. Alright, let's see what we find next here. Are we going to be able to get a good lead? Okay, good lead versus this Gastrodon here. We generally don't have to shield anything. They do decide to switch out into the Empoleon, trying to catch a Icy Wind, I believe. And we're going to use this Cresselia not only to potentially win back the alignment, but we're going to see if we can come out with a bunch of energy in this situation, because we know that we should be able to outpace to these Grass Knots before they get to their big charge moves. So we do decide to double shield. We already got one shield from our opponent. Let's see if we get another shield from our opponent. And no, they decided to let it go. But now they're going to come back in with their Gastrodon, but now they have to shield or let this go. They do decide to shield. Okay, and they actually switch back out into the Frostlass, so that gives us the opportunity to use our Drifblim with a ton of energy and use the Shadow Ball. We take out that Frostlass, and now this is really good for us because Drifblim is a hard counter to this Gastrodon, especially if it's running the Earth Power version. So Gastrodon can basically know the Body Slam, Water Pulse, or Earth Power charge moves. All right, another great lead here. We're expecting them to switch out. Whoa, we just took a huge chunk of damage. I'm not exactly sure how that non-Shadow Drapion was able to do that much damage. But we are going to switch into the Empoleon. This Empoleon is trying to get to another move. Unfortunately, we faint on Hydro Cannon right there, so a missed opportunity to get another shield. And now they have a ton of energy. they for sure have one crunch ready. They throw the crunch. We're going to try to farm up a little bit. We're going to go for this grass knot here to either get this shield or take out this Drifblim. And we're expecting the... Okay, they actually have a double weakness to this Drifblim in the back. That Gastrodon is not a great counter to this Drifblim, and I think they had a Bronzong in the back. They go for this body slam right here, which is double resisted. We're making sure we maintain this alignment, so we're going to go for this Shadow Ball right here. And now it comes to this, are they going to be able to call this bait, or is this going to be a shield? We do get the shield from our opponent, which allows us to survive these moves. We're going to try to race to a Shadow Ball right here, and that is exactly what we get it. So GG's to our opponent right there, able to get the Shadow Ball off against this Bronzong. If we didn't get that shield and we didn't get that debuff, we probably would have lost that game right there. So just a coin flip, and we were on the right side of that coin flip. All right, next game. We got the Chera versus the Drifblim. Interesting. Okay, they immediately switch out into the Empoleon, so we're going to match it with our Cresselia. This Cresselia is going to shield the first one just to keep it healthy. We're going to go for this grass knot here. We know that it does some good neutral damage. They decide to shield as well. So is that an indication that our opponent is going to try to double shield to win this? Let's find out. Okay, they do allow the second one to go through. And we're just going to go ahead and invest a shield here. Another shield, so that we can for sure get enough health and enough energy. Okay, actually, they decided to double shield as well. I thought they would let that go. So we're going to catch a move. Ends up being the Hydro Cannon. Now our opponent has these... okay, the Chirim was trying to get to a move. I think this is CAP tie. Yep. This is going to be the Weather Ball, which is a fire move. So luckily we were able to survive it. Now we're going to have to tank this, and we got to decide which one are we going to farm down with, Cresselia or the Drifblim. They have revealed that they have Chirim and Empoleon, so not exactly sure what they have in the back. We're just going to trust the Drifblim here is going to be able to win, and indeed it is going to be able to win. They do have another weak Pokemon to our Drifblim. They decide to switch out, try to reset the debuff, which is a good idea, but unfortunately, it allows us to farm down, and we're going to throw this Icy Wind here to debuff them again. And regardless of they throw, this is GG's. A Water Pulse does not KO from this range, but they decided to go for the Body Slam, so it looks like they were only running Earth Power. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.